You're listening to a new season of Nest Level Digital. With an exciting lineup of speakers, we continue to reimagine the power of digital innovation. At Nestlé, we're embracing the future. From creating innovative nutrition solutions to being a force for good, we bring you insights from around the globe on how we're having an impact and inspiring change. Discover how digital technologies help us create a better tomorrow.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of the Nest Level podcast. I'm your host, Kate Clare. As Head of E-commerce at Nestlé Oceania, which includes Australia, New Zealand and the Pacific Islands, I'm really excited about today's topic on technology, digital innovation and my experience of working at Nestlé. We're coming to you from Australia, and before we dive into our topic, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Wangal people of the Eora Nation on which we are recording today. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging. Joining me today is Sandra Martinez, CEO of Nestlé Oceania. Sandra, welcome.
Hello, Kate. It is good to be here.
I'm excited to get your thoughts on how people are embracing technology at Nestlé and why it's a great place to work. But before we get into that, please tell me about your history at Nestlé, Sandra.
I have 3 decades of history with Nestlé, Kate. I started in 1988 when I was 22 years old. And you were just telling me that you joined Nestlé as well when you were 22. So we have a lot in common. Since then, my family and I have had the opportunity to live in various countries across 4 different continents: Latin America, North America, Europe, and now this amazing corner of the world, Oceania. I feel so grateful for the opportunities I got to do so many roles and being encouraged and supported to do more and to go for more. And Kate, one thing that has been a constant throughout my journey is the importance of embracing change and adopting technology to make your work easier, better, and more interesting. So I am really excited to dive deeper into this topic today with you.
Wow, over 30 years at Nestlé, you must have seen a huge amount of change over that time.
Yeah, a huge. Not only changes in our environment, but also the incredibly fast technology changes and progress that we are seeing. And things I would have hardly imagined 30 years ago. To give you some context on the changes I witnessed, let me tell you a story about my uni days. So in the early 80s, when I was finishing high school, computer sciences was the thing, the new thing. Very exciting, but also it was the understanding that it would be a very well-paid profession. So I decided to enroll in computer science at university. And at that time, we were learning how to code and how to program punching cards. And it was honestly tedious, long, and very frustrating. Just to give you an example, if you would make a typo mistake, you had to re-punch the whole card. And then sometimes you could even notice if you had made a mistake, because you would know about that when you were running the whole lot of cards with the big frameworks. And look where we are now. We have any application that we want for anything that we need at our fingertips. This is evolving really fast. As the world creates new technologies, as we adopt them at a very rapid pace, we also need to remember that we have to be ready to unlearn many things that we have learned in the past and to relearn new things. And as a brand manager, for example, when I was a young brand manager, I remember I was the queen of Excel workbooks. And that's how we used to report. Now as a CEO, I get to access those reports through Power BI, and I had to relearn, right? But the fun part of doing that is that I have this younger generation helping me to really get on track faster with these new tools. And that is how what we are about in Nestlé. We remain at the forefront of the new trends, and we give our teams the opportunity to use new tools, like, for example, now Microsoft Copilot, right? And our own GPT, which we have named Nest GPT.
I still remember my first day at Nestlé and my manager at the time taking me through Microsoft Excel, VLOOKUPs, everything there. We do the same thing these days, but instead of Excel, like you said, it's always Power BI with our graduates as well. So it's crazy how much it's changing. And I think you touched on the piece around staying on the forefront of technology. One of the things that we use within e-commerce is actually a global platform of e-commerce best practice across Nestlé. And it's a platform set up which is super easy to tag content. So we load case studies in, tag them, search for them, and then can utilise them. So we can learn from other markets and stay ahead of those trends. It's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, and that's a really great example of how a global company like us can leverage our global footprint, right? With these new technologies being used in other parts of the business, and we having the opportunity to see what they are doing and to adapt what is relevant for us and really put our attention and focus on that.
Yeah, and I can imagine over the last 6 years as CEO of Nestlé Oceania, you would have seen a huge transformation of some of our things like our factories. I know myself, when I first started at Nestlé in New Zealand, I visited one of our factories, Cambria Park in Auckland, and I was absolutely blown away by the speed and the automation, and that was 16 years ago now. I bet I wouldn't even recognise the factories if I was to go there today. I was speaking with one of our team over in the factory recently, and they mentioned they're actually using collaborative robots, which they've called cobots, in the factory. And these cobots, they're taking away all the repetitive tasks, which obviously makes it a lot safer for our employees. And that through automation, our employees are able to spend more time on the things that they enjoy.
Yeah, I've been fortunately to seen it in action, and these cobots help our teams to do their job in a better way, avoiding some repetitive tasks and sometimes tough tasks like, lifting weights from one side to the other, and also in a safer way. But you know that I just landed from Switzerland yesterday, right? I was attending this global conference of market heads or CEOs of all the Nestlé markets across the world. And we were discussing with the central team the roadmap ahead for Nestlé. Two key areas of focus that were very important to cover were innovation and digital transformation. First, I was blown away with the incredible prototypes across all categories that our central team have developed and that are ready for us to launch. The difference this time was about how technology and digital platforms are helping them to really identify, design, and develop products at a speed that I have never seen before. And I can't disclose too much, but it is really exciting, Kate. And I felt very proud to see that us, as Oceania, are the lead market to launch Nescafé concentrate. We just started shipping a few weeks ago. This shows how we are really committed to be first-timers into really embracing these innovations and put it at the service of our consumers. The second thing that was very impressive as well was how our operations central team is supporting our manufacturing sites and our supply chain colleagues with a roadmap for automation and digitalization. One particular example that impressed me big time was on logistics. Did you know that Nestlé globally manages more than 100,000 containers per day?
Wow.
They have this kind of, NASA room, which they call this Tower Data Center, where they can monitor each of these containers, and they can check if they are going to have some supply chain issues or if they need to change something, so that we as the markets can get our raw and packaging material and our products on time and at the best possible cost.
So it's that one that I have to thank for getting my Starbucks by Nespresso to me every day in the morning when I want one.
Absolutely. And the third and probably the most interesting part, which is part of the theme that we are discussing today, was about the future of work and how we can deliver our objectives and goals, leveraging technology so that we can be more efficient and effective. Like that, we can have more time to collaborate, to think about what are the next big idea that will drive our business. So I am really very excited about this part. And I learned that despite my curiosity about these new tools, I am not extracting the complete value of these tools in my day-to-day. So I will be asking for your help to better understand, for example, how can I manage Copilot to have to manage better my calendar, my inbox, and to have more time to share some ideas with the rest of the team.
I'll get my co-pilot to book a meeting in our diaries for us.
Excellent, excellent.
Now, you've just shared some amazing examples of where we've embraced change. Do you ever see people resist change?
Yes, I have, and it is normal, Kate. It is human behavior, right? Change can trigger a bit of fear because it means stepping into unknown or new territory, especially for some of us in this digital and technology arena. But what is important is that we need to know that incorporating technology into what we do is vital. And getting digital technology right is so important. I am very proud of our work locally and the time and investment that goes into making sure that we find the right digital solutions for all of us.
I imagine it's not only just getting the right technology, but embedding it in the way of working that's really important to get the most outcomes.
Absolutely, Kate. It is critical that as we introduce a new digital tool, we also provide our people with the right training and the right support. At Nestlé, we work on initiatives to foster a growth mindset. This is the ability to learn and change so that it becomes part of our DNA.
I agree, Sandra. I know only too well the importance of embracing a growth mindset. When I first started at Nestlé, the head of e-commerce role, or e-commerce as a function, didn't even exist.
I remember.
Yeah, so every day we're having to learn something new to make sure that we're staying ahead of those trends with consumers. And one of the things Nestlé globally helps us with is through these launch of the academies. We've got a digital academy, an e-commerce academy, and from our perspective, it's a great tool to be able to use to continue to grow and bridge those skill gaps in areas we haven't yet been exposed to. And as a learner, for me, it's really helpful because sometimes the way I'll use it is find a project that I'm working on and then line it up with the course that delivers the best outcome for that project. I also know as a manager, I can rely on the tool as well to help our teams to learn and close those gaps, whether it's through things like the leaderboards, competitions, and I do love a competition. Being a Kiwi myself, we're very competitive, and one of the best competitions that we run, I'd say, between our markets within Oceania is between New Zealand and Australia with those Trans-Tasman competitions. And one thing when I speak to people as well is about how they're actually using the tool across the organisation, whether you're in marketing, sales, category, or even finance and supply chain. And what we're finding with these teams is they're actually using these tools not just to bridge the gap in their current roles, but to look forward to future roles and see what capabilities they need to be able to build up. So it's really fantastic. I love it.
We're always looking for ways how we can support our teams in their personal growth on top of their professional growth. I strongly believe that creating a positive and thriving work environment is the best way to drive and create and build high-performing teams. One thing that is unique for us here in Oceania, Kate, is KitKat Days. I know. And KitKat Days are paid days off that fall on a Friday every second or third month for our teams across Oceania. And this year, we get 5. KitKat Days are designed to be a collective break for our teams. So everybody has the same day off to recharge. I'm sure you have enjoyed some of these KitKat Days this year so far.
I absolutely love KitKat Days. They have been such a game changer for me and my family as well. If anyone's seen my LinkedIn, you could probably get a sneak peek of what I did on my last KitKat Day while my mum was over from New Zealand. But what I absolutely love about the KitKat Days is the ability to truly have a break. And with two young boys, it's not something that I often get a chance to do. And what's absolutely great about them is that no one's at work on those days because it's the same day for everyone. And what that means is I don't have come back to a whole lot of emails in my inbox, and I don't have to cancel meetings or decline them and miss out on really important work while I'm off taking a break.
And returning from COVID, we have maintained our flexible working policy, which provides our teams with options to attend their personal responsibilities together with their professional ones.
I've actually been really lucky recently to be on the receiving end of our parental leave and flexibility policy. As I mentioned, I've got two young boys, so George is 3 and Charlie is nearly turning 6 but has just started school. And between my husband and I, there's some of those big life moments that we just wouldn't miss, whether it's the first day of school or recently my son's Easter hat parade, where he's very proud, big hat, very exciting. And often they also get sick being young as well, and so does my fur baby Otto. So having that flexible working policy is really, really important. It made my decision to come back to work full-time really easy with Nestlé. And I think what was really important about that is that I was really supported in my career, but actually at the same time, the focus was on the outputs and there was trust that I would deliver what was required to do the job, wherever it was, whether it was working from home one day, putting a load of washing on and also doing some independent work, or otherwise coming into the office to collaborate with other people. And sometimes I love to come in just to have a lunch with someone as well. We've got lots of good friends that we make along the way. So I really, really value the flexibility that we get at Nestlé. With technology, most of our meetings are now hybrid as well, so it's super easy to flex to whatever I need to achieve in that day.
Yeah, and it's incredible how technology is keeping us connected, not only here in Oceania, but with our colleagues across the globe, right?
It's so helpful. We work quite often with the teams in the US or the UK, and we've even got an e-commerce hub with our global e-com team based in Barcelona. And what's really great is that we can collaborate with them, sometimes even while we're asleep. And I'll let you in on, I know it seems a bit funny, I'll let you in on a little secret of how we do it. So our teams sometimes have meetings in the middle of the night because of their time zone that we just need to listen to, don't need to actually participate in. And what I can do now with Microsoft Copilot is let the meeting run while I'm fast asleep, and then the next morning actually come in and use Copilot to summarise the meeting through the transcript for me. So it's it's an absolute game changer. No more midnight meetings or no more otherwise missing out on the meeting. So it's really fantastic.
Wow, I am impressed with all that I'm learning from you, Kate. I think you should add this to my Copilot lessons.
I will, although I don't know how many you can just listen to and not have to participate in, but I'll keep you posted.
And what about your area, e-commerce?
Yeah, so e-commerce is another area where we have to remain really flexible and agile, particularly over the last few years with the transformation it's going from. What we're seeing is there's a massive shift in the way not just people engage with our brands, but also how they're shopping. And quite often we talk about it like the on-demand of TV. People want to be able to watch what they watch whenever they want to watch it. And it's the same thing with shopping. You want to be able to shop whenever you want to shop and have it delivered or picked up based on whatever your needs are at that point in time. I know myself, I'll quite often use my mobile to check the specials or see how many loyalty points I've got. And then if I've got a little bit of kid-free time, I might go into store. On other days, the notification might pop up while I'm working that my husband's just got my son from daycare. And what that means is I've got about 30 minutes before these crazy hungry kids come in the door to get dinner on the table. And so what I'll sometimes do is jump on a QuickCom app and actually get groceries delivered in less than 30 minutes. It's absolutely crazy. I also have quite a few of our essentials on subscription as well, just so that I'll never run out. Definitely recommend that one.
It is truly impressive how our teams have responded to these challenges using technology and digital tools. but not only for their personal lives, but also for customers and consumers.
Yeah, and we're keeping up with it, you know. It's not just about consumers, but we're also completely evolving the way we work so we can utilise the customers' tools while we're in store as well.
Yeah, we are finding new solutions for our retail customers, field sales teams, and consumers as well. For instance, I know that our field sales team are now using technology to help map the best and most efficient way to visit the stores. And when they are in the store, they can connect to the customer application and see, for example, what is the stock level, and really work together to make the best of the opportunities that we both have. And all this is tailored made, taking into account each customer characteristics. It is just mind-blowing. The other thing that I understand is that we are using more and more QR codes. And QR codes were something that we learned as human beings to use during COVID. And this is also a fantastic tool for us as marketeers because it provides us the opportunity to give information to our consumers about the brand, about the product, and really making this consumer experience much richer than before.
And one thing you touched on, Sandra, was the way that our field teams are using tools to improve the in-store shopping experience. We're also using digital tools to help improve the online shopping experience for our shoppers as well. And one of those tools helps us to identify missing images, missing descriptions, and whether our products are out of stock or available to be shopped online. And I remember when I first started in e-commerce, that used to take us absolutely days to do because you'd have to be going through every product on every page, and it was endless. So now our teams are actually able to use that time on much more meaningful experiences.
Yeah, and I remember in those times we had to stay at the office, right?
Oh, we did.
To do all these things. Yeah, absolutely.
And not to mention, all of this is strengthened by the amazing things that our marketing teams are doing with digital as well.
Yeah.
Could you tell me about one?
Absolutely. I am a brand manager at my heart, right? That was my best job ever. When it comes to marketing our products, technology is helping us big time. At Nestlé, we encourage our marketeers to use digital tools to create engaging and inspiring communication or consumer experiences. We've seen our teams using technology in some amazing ways, from following consumer trends to measuring campaign effectiveness and even creating advertising using AI.
Really?
Yep. I don't know if you remember the KitKat AI campaign that we launched a few months ago. This was when AI was really very new because, you know, AI has been transforming in basically weeks and days. Our marketing team first had to teach AI what a KitKat was and what the brand's looks and feels like. This meant for them to training the AI technology with the existing KitKat marketing assets. And then they challenged the AI to create the next round for KitKat based on what AI knew now. This wasn't with trial and error. They had to, adjust, but the end result was a magnificent ad that everybody enjoyed, while also having a break.
That was such a fantastic example, Sandra, of our teams using technology in really innovative and exciting ways. Now that brings us to the end of our podcast.
Oh, really? Already?
I know, it's gone so quickly.
Very quickly.
Are there any parting words that you've got for the team online?
For companies like Nestlé, who had been around for more than 150 years, we've seen a lot of change, Kate. And we've realized the importance of reinventing, relearning, and embracing technology to drive our business. But most importantly, we've confirmed that it's people who makes the difference. People that are curious, hungry to learn, and brave enough to experiment.
I see that passion every day in the people that I work with. Thank you for joining me today, Sandra. And for those of you online, thank you for joining us.
This is Nest Level Digital. Thanks for tuning in. Discover our open roles on the Nestlé Careers website. Stay connected by signing up to the Nestlé Talent Network. Together, we can be future ready and make an impact today and for generations to come. See you on the next episode.